That year, the HOA once again targeted my farm's reservoir, this time objecting to the routine bathing of the equines. Karen, predictably, assumed she could intervene, calling the police in a panic over what she claimed was unauthorized activity. What she did not realize, however, was that the reservoir was not only part of the farm's operational ecosystem but also served as a base for the Border Equine Patrol, a specialized unit of horses trained for surveillance, law enforcement support, and strategic response. Her attempt to interfere would quickly turn into another spectacular humiliation. The morning began quietly. Titania and the herd grazed along the reservoir's perimeter. Geese patrolled the banks, and goats explored the surrounding embankments. The reservoir itself was essential for farm operations, providing water for livestock, irrigation, and cleaning. It had also been designated as a patrol area for the Border Equine Unit, which was trained to respond to any potential intrusions or disturbances with precision and discipline. Karen arrived mid-morning, clipboard in hand, demanding that the equine bathing cease immediately. She was unaware of the operational significance of the activity, nor did she understand the legal authority and federal recognition associated with the Border Equine Patrol. Titania and the herd immediately positioned themselves strategically near the water's edge, stamping their hooves and signaling territorial control. The other horses fanned out, forming a semicircle that subtly guided human movement and restricted approach. Geese flapped and honked rhythmically, creating both an auditory and visual deterrent, while goats blocked narrow paths to ensure no one could approach without navigating a controlled obstacle course. As Karen became more insistent, she dialed the police, claiming that illegal activity was taking place. By the time officers arrived, they were met with a highly coordinated scene. Equines calmly bathing in the reservoir, animals patrolling perimeters, and all operations fully compliant with legal and federal regulations. I calmly presented the necessary documentation, including property deeds, operational permits, environmental compliance certificates, and official records recognizing the equines as part of the Border Patrol. The officers immediately recognized that Karen had no authority to intervene and that her interference was both illegal and strategically foolish. Meanwhile, the equines maintained their disciplined presence. Titania led the herd in controlled movements along the perimeter, ensuring that any potential threats were guided away from sensitive areas. Geese and goats continued their patrols and perimeter control, creating a layered defense system that combined natural intelligence with strategic planning. The scene demonstrated clearly that the farm's operations were lawful, coordinated, and well-protected. Karen's attempts to assert control quickly disintegrated. She shouted, waved her clipboard, and demanded action, but her efforts were entirely futile. The combination of legal authority, operational planning, and disciplined animal presence made it impossible for her to disrupt the activities at the reservoir. The police confirmed this, politely advising her that further interference would be both illegal and unwise. By mid-afternoon, calm had returned to the reservoir. The equines continued their bathing and patrol routines, Titania grazing near the water, geese patrolling the banks, and goats exploring the embankments. The HOA had been humiliated, and the farm's operational integrity remained completely intact. Karen's overreach had failed spectacularly, demonstrating once again that audacity without understanding law, operations, and natural defense systems is doomed to fail. That evening, as the sun reflected off the reservoir's surface, it became clear that the farm had successfully defended yet another critical asset. Titania, the herd, geese, and goats had all played essential roles in maintaining security and authority. The Border Equine Patrol had operated seamlessly, reinforcing the farm's control while providing a disciplined and lawful response to interference. The reservoir stood secure, the equines vigilant, and the farm's operations unchallenged. Karen's failure served as a reminder that preparation, strategy, and coordination, legal, operational, and natural, were far more effective than the unfounded arrogance of the HOA. The incident became yet another story of resilience, discipline, and the unassailable authority of the farm and its integrated systems.